Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Bluhdhaven podcast, episode number 69. As always, I am your host, Balfour Wong. Today, I'm joined with
Buddy.
And we also have a very special guest today. Everyone, please welcome Drake Bell to the episode. So, Drake, thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with us. Drake and I met each other actually at Disneyland. So our conversation today is going to focus primarily around Disney, Disneyland, Disney properties, and stuff like that. So our audience already knows that I'm a huge Disney fan. We actually just recorded a game called Disney Villainous, which kind of is like a prelude to this conversation. So Drake, for you, what is your fondness of Disney? Like, where did your
I'll
love
tell you
from-
what, it's one thing when like you get asked to do these podcasts or interviews and man, it's just so annoying, when you have to come on here and talk about something that you like, it's like you don't really like, and you're not really into something, like Disneyland. It's like, oh, I gotta come on this podcast and like talk about Disneyland. Like, geez, I don't even like that place very much. Dude, it's so rad to be able to come on to interviews and like talk about stuff that you really love, like Disneyland. Super awesome. I love it. I grew up across the street from it. Well, I say across the street, but it was like, Brookhurst and Orangewood. So a three minute drive,
Yeah.
So growing up, that was our mall, I mean, we all had Disneyland passes because they were only like $100 at the time for the whole year. And then, we'd get off of school and some parent would pick us up and then they'd drop us off at the mall. And then later on, all the parents would pick us up not the mall, Disneyland. Like they would the kids at the mall, and then they'd, the parents would come and pick us all up from Disneyland at the end of the day when they're all done doing their stuff. And I was just like so for me, just ever since I was a little kid, going with my parents and then hanging out there with my friends, it's just the nostalgia and my love for Walt and, all things Walt Disney. It just opens up my, it keeps me grounded, keeps me young. It's just, there's no feeling you get anywhere else. Like when you, excuse me, like when you walk into Disneyland, it's like,
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
I try to think of somewhere where I go and I just go, like I do in Disneyland, and I can't really think of anywhere, not even Disney World or the other Disney properties, although I do love being there, but still not the same as when you walk into Disneyland. And I think that's just because that's my home park,
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. That's
and because it's Walt's Park and it's way better than Disney World. But,
you and I completely agree on that. And I know some of our audience members are going to be like,
except, bro, now I can't make that, like my argument is not as strong anymore because we don't have Disneyland passes anymore.
Yep. Because everything's changing at Disney.
Everything's changing. So yeah. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Well, I mean, kind of touching back on, what you're talking about, like the nostalgia stuff, that's kind of where, I came from too. Growing up, whenever I went to the parks, although, I didn't go directly to the gate, my, situation was more of, we came from out of town, we parked at the parking lot and we took the tram, and like the tram was the first ride to Disneyland for me and my family. It was like,
so when was this? Was California Adventure already there?
No. So when I started going to Disneyland, I was 4. I mean, I was going even before I can remember I was going, because my mom and dad took me all the time. But I remember very fondly when I was 4. This was back when the trams used to be like an ugly blue and yellow type of tram. And it was before DCA had opened. So there was still that parking lot where DCA stands. For those who don't know, Disney's California Adventure used to be a parking lot. So people could like park right in front of Disneyland and walk to the gate. But yeah, so my experience was, we would get on the tram. That was the first, ride of the day. And then you get to the front of the gate. And, I, similar to you, Drake, is like having that feeling of like pure bliss, going into a new world, forgetting the outside world and just being happy, surrounded by amazing people. Like I'm one of those people who actually enjoy standing in lines and mingling with people because that's interesting to me.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, fast passes are awesome. And, doing the single rider line is also great as well. But like meeting different people there has always been one of my fondest memories at Disneyland. So like, you know, when me and Drake got to meet up, it was nice because it was like, okay, this guy actually knows what he's talking about. Like it's nice to kind of have that connection of, okay, you know your shit, and now I actually have someone that I can talk to about it, because I'm not sure.
What's cool about Disneyland, man. It's like, you know, it really, just meeting people at the park was it's so rad. You know, I'm constantly, well, I was constantly like, you know, just meeting all these awesome people, jumping into these groups. Like when they used to have the social clubs, it was so fun. But then they raised the prices on the Disneyland passes. So the social clubs kind of dispersed, but that was so much fun. Like everyone wearing their Disney, you know, jean jackets and
patches and everything.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, it's cool. I just love the Disneyland community. You know, everyone at the parks are just like there to have fun, have a good time, enjoy each other. It's really inclusive. It's like nobody's like judging each other. Like it's like a big wacky group of like all different types of shapes and sizes and backgrounds and colors and creeds, and it's just like one. It's like totally the group that you want to be a part of. You know what I mean? It's like, everyone's welcome. It's kind of like it's like a slightly more conservative version of what I find when I go to like Rocky Horror Picture Show. Everybody's weird and it's cool to be weird.
Yeah, exactly. It's that very inclusive, very welcoming type of community.
Like I'm a nerd, but all of you guys are nerds too. And because all of us are nerds, now it's cool.
Right. And it's cool. It's cool too, because, you know, kind of bridging that gap between Rocky and Disney. It's like you have so many people with different skills for that community too. You have different artists, different actors, you know, very, very, very smart, creative people in these kinds of groups. So it's cool to really branch out and meet up with different people, which is why it was always fun to, you know, like when I got to meet Jeff. You know, Jeff is our friend who went to Disneyland consecutively for years up until Disneyland closed. And like meeting him and his friend group was always interesting as well, because it's like, you know, he's an ex-vet, his friends are ex-vets. Like it's just a very wide spectrum of people. And I hope he's doing well. I haven't talked to a guy in forever. When's the last time you talked to Jeff?
Maybe like a little bit after Disneyland closed. Damn. So like middle last year.
Yeah, I feel really bad because that was a long streak.
But nobody's ever gonna touch it. Especially
no,
it's impossible.
No one's ever gonna come here close.
Well, now it's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about that too, like the brand new with Disneyland and stuff. Yeah, because you have to have a.
I just bought my 5-day pass.
You lucky bastard.
So that's one thing it has to be used within 14 days. So you have to go like 5 days within 14 days. You can't just like be like, really? Oh, I'll go one day in July and one day in August and one day in. No,
oh, man,
it has to be used within 14 days. So like I'm gonna have to be like cramming my Disneyland in.
Damn.
But then you're done, and then you're like, okay, well, I guess I go try and buy it, and it's so
try to get it again,
dude. It's like the price of a pass. It's so stupid.
Damn, man, that really does suck. I guess that's why so many people are going to Disney World right now. Like,
yeah, I have family over there at Disney World. They're like literally in the park right now.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Now we're trying to see if we can plan a trip out there because I need my Disney fix, and like I can't get my Disneyland fix anytime soon because I mean right now it's still closed to California residents, so like I'm just itching at this point.
It's crazy.
But no, yeah. So I mean, you know, for our audience, you know, Disneyland is a big part of our lives. It's again the reason why he and I have become friends. But you know, speaking of Disney, and you know, you and I are creators. One of the questions that I actually had for you was, you know,
have you ever been to my house?
Yeah, dude, I've been to your house like 4 or 5 times.
Okay, so you've seen like the Disney craziness.
Yeah. And like the wall mural. Now I know who the artist who did your mural is. So like that's fucking sick. Yeah, man, like your house is insanely cool. For those
room and everything, it's all Disney.
Yeah. It's so sick. But No, so one of the questions I had for you was like, you know, you were the voice of Spider-Man for quite a while. You know, how was your time doing that production? Like, what was one of your favorite moments working on that production?
When Stan Lee came in and we got to work together with Stan Lee, every time he came in, it was just freaking amazing.
See, that's cool. That's cool.
It was so great. He'd come in and we'd be doing a bit, and he'd be like, "Now, Drake, listen, this is I don't do this, okay? So I'm not an actor, and I'm probably gonna ruin this. I'm probably not gonna do very good. So whatever." And then he does it, and it's great. I'm like,
yeah, I think it's perfect every time.
Stanley. And then he goes, and then he's like, Shield, the strategic hill, and he starts like giving the thing for it, and he keeps messing it up. And he's like, "I'm sorry, I keep messing this up, but this is not what Shield originally means. Shield originally stood for." And then he says like the original, what it stood for originally. He's like, "So I'm just getting a little confused because this is not what Shield actually stands for." And so I'm like, "Oh my God, dude, this is the coolest thing ever."
Yeah, I could not imagine being in the same room with Stan the Man, like having that conversation, man. That is very, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, on the flip side of that, you know, what was one of the most difficult things for you during that time?
Sorry, say that again. What was what?
What was the most difficult thing about the project at that time? Like in terms of like the creative process and stuff like that.
Most difficult? Honestly, nothing really. It was the easiest job on the planet, dude. You go in.
You got to go into a studio and act.
Yeah, you go into a studio, you say some words, you go home. It's down the street from my house. I'm not on camera. I could be, I could look like I do right now, and no one cares.
So super chill. Yeah, that's something that I've done, because I've done a couple of voice acting type of stuff. So it's nice to not be in front of the camera and kind of just like be very expressive and not have that direction of being like, hold on, you're being a little too animated, or you're being too much. So like,
or like you have to like mute, like morph your face and like do like some like contortions and stuff. Yeah, to like get a specific voice. Yeah, to get like certain sounds,
Yeah.
And it's nice to not have a camera on your face when you're trying to like act like you're getting beat up or fighting or doing whatever.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. That's actually really cool though. I never actually got to sit down and talk to you about the whole Spider-Man thing. So it's nice to get that kind of perspective from someone working on a production like that. Because now Disney doesn't own it, but it has the rights to Spider-Man. So
Marvel Land's opening up.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to segue into that, which is the reason why I brought up the Spider-Man thing. You excited for that? You excited for the Marvel area in DCA?
Yeah, we'll see. I wasn't excited about Tower of Terror, and now it's like one of my favorite rides. So Guardians, so I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't like change, and I'm not a huge Avengers fan, but we'll see.
I'm the same way, but I'll give it a chance. That's my.
Have you been on? Not Smuggler's Run. What's the other one?
Oh, Rise of the
Resistance.
Yeah, I have not yet, and I'm really bummed because I saw the virtual tour and everything, and I'm like, this looks like the most amazing ride in the world.
Bro, it's the best ride. It's the greatest ride I've ever been on in my entire life.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I've been wanting to go so bad. It's the new Star Wars ride that it's damn it, man.
Dude,
it's like
and
so
Ratatouille's
cool.
coming. Ratatouille's coming too, dude.
Oh, they're finally bringing it over from Paris?
Yeah. Wait, have you been to Paris, Disney?
Yes, I have.
Did you ride Ratatouille?
No, because I was there before that ride.
Dude, it's like unbelievable track list. It's just like Rise of the Resistance technology.
It's just like
it's like the same cars.
Yeah. Okay.
Trackless, takes you all over it, dude. It's so unreal.
God, because when we went there, I was maybe 13 or 14 when I was there.
Oh, so that was like before Crush Coaster and everything.
Yeah. It was before like the revamp of the entire park. But it was
still called Euro Disney.
Yeah, at that time, yeah. So yeah, it was a different time, but it was super fun. They had
Tom Sawyer Island having
It was
Thunder
Skull.
Mountain on it.
Yeah, so it was Skull Rock with Thunder Mountain behind it, and then you had the Indiana Jones ride that like it was a backwards roller coaster, just like to the left side of it. It was so rad.
Yeah, Indiana Jones roller coaster. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Ah, man, Paris. Yeah, the only parts I have not been to are Tokyo, Shanghai, and Hong Kong.
Yeah, I haven't been to any of the Asia parks.
Yeah, so those are the only 3 that I need to hit, and then I'll have my.
Have you been to Aulani?
What's that?
Have you been to Aulani or on any of the Disney cruises?
I have not. Those are going to be the next things I hit after I hit the parks.
Bro.
Are they fun? Because I've never been on one.
Have you ever been on a cruise?
No.
Okay, dude. I had never been on a cruise before, and I went on a Disney cruise.
Mind blown.
Everyone tells me like, you know, the Disney cruise is nothing like a normal cruise. Like, because like, first off, it's like family cruise, so like stuff closes early, and there's like, you know, there's not like a casino, and it's not like a party festival, you know. But dude, if you love Disney, it's one of the coolest things you'll ever do.
Oh man,
it's so rad, dude. The ship is so huge. You walk around in your freaking pajamas. They have movie theaters that are just like free. You just like walk into the movie theater and you watch like whatever Disney movie that they're playing at that, like that's out in the theaters at that time. They have like freaking movies out on that, dude. It's so freaking fun. They have all these different themed restaurants. They have bro, it's so crazy. It's like you're just in Disney, like
it's just Disney all around.
It's just, and you're out to sea, and you stop off in like Bahamas or wherever you're going, and you're like, dude, it's just sick, dude.
Man, yeah, no, I've been wanting to go so badly. You know, eventually I will. You know, we love Disney, but Disney's also very expensive.
I was gonna say those Disney cruises are pretty pricey. Yeah. I've never paid for one. I've only been
invited,
like, gone with like family vacation kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. You know, I'm hoping for whenever my mom and stepdad are like, "Hey, we're gonna go on a cruise," and I'll be like, "Want me to take along?" But no, man, I want to go so badly. You know, my aunt, she works with Disney, and she, you know, got a chance to go on the Disney cruise, I think like 3 or 4 years ago. And she was also hyping it up like hardcore. Like she's like, this is one of the most amazing experiences ever. So it's definitely something that's going to be on my list. And for our lovely Disney viewers, if you guys have not gone on a cruise, please go. And for those who have, let us know what your guys' experience is, because I would love to hear more about, you know, everyone's love for Disney. But Buddy, do you have any Disney related questions and or comments?
I can this one. What was probably like the most, whether it be from any of the Disneyland properties, whether it be the cruises, the parks, and whatnot, where you were just completely in awe and you were just like, I can at least enjoy or somewhat.
Like the one experience where you're just like, this is the apex of like my Disney experience, type of thing. That's a good question.
That's kind of a tough question to answer, because there's so many different things that you get from Disneyland, right? Like if I was gonna say like the greatest ride experience, like that I was just like, oh my God, this was incredible. Okay, it would be Rise of the Resistance is one, but dude, Flight of the what's the one in Pandora? Flight of the no. What is it?
Oh God, what's it called? I know what you're talking about. It's the Avatar ride.
Dude. Right? Those rides are so sick. Even the water one is amazing.
Yeah. I'll say, like, in terms of like rides, like there's a lot of like technologically impressive rides, but they may not technically be my favorite ride.
Yeah.
Like my personal favorite ride is Space Mountain at Disneyland. And that ride's not even like technically crazy, you know, it's just a dark ride that only goes like 30 miles an hour, but it's fun. 35, yeah.
25.
Is it 25? I thought it was 30.
No, it's only 25 miles an hour, dude. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's
But it feels like you're going
they have
so
fans and
fast.
stuff
Yeah.
to make you feel faster.
Okay.
But I mean, like for me, that's my favorite ride. And again, it kind of goes back to our talk about like nostalgia. Is like I used to ride that ride with my mom and dad, and like that always was like super happiness for me.
Mhm.
So
It
in
was
terms
also
of
like it was also like when we were that age, it was like that was the pinnacle ride. Like it was always like that had the longest line, and it was like, oh, we're gonna go do everything else, and then we're gonna come back
And
for
then-
Space Mountain
yeah,
when the line's a little shorter. So it was always kind of like the last thing you did in the park. So it was always like the cream on the the icing on the cake.
yep.
And then like you get off of Space Mountain, you get in the car and you pass out and you wake up in your bed.
Yeah, and you're like, wow, what a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, and also there's like a ton of different experiences.
Mhm.
Like you have the Dapper Dans on Main Street. There's a lot of like live entertainment throughout the park. So it's like it is a really hard question.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say too, because it's like I love Space Mountain, but I also love Pirates of the Caribbean.
right,
like
for a
like,
completely different reason.
yeah, for a completely different reason. I love the length of it. I love the imagination. I love how immersed you are. I love how So it's tough to say, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would just say probably like just walking under the tunnels with the movie posters, and then like smelling the popcorn right when you get through, and hearing like the of the trolley car.
The trolley
and,
coming by. Yeah.
You're just like, oh, all right, I'm here.
Yeah, and then no, I honestly like
I'm in
those
I'm in
arches
another
dude,
world.
are literally like you are opening a curtain to something else. It's just a great feeling. Yeah, like as if the world is like lifted off your shoulders. You're now in a fun place. I mean, like even talking about like down to the food, like the snacks and stuff. Like, yeah, you can make it at home. We make Dole Whip all the time.
Yeah.
But like getting it at the park is just a different feeling. Like you just feel good.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Disney itself is magic or a drug, but it could be the same thing. It's fine. But no, that was a really good question, buddy. But in terms of Disneyland news, though, did you see the Jungle Cruise announcement?
The Jungle Cruise, how they're changing the narrative basically of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I like the idea of it, how it's like a jungle cruise ship that's been lost.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool. Obviously, I don't like change at Disneyland because it's like taking something away from my childhood, but lately I've been kind of okay with a lot of the changes. They've been pretty dope. So
yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like you feel like it's taking something away from you, but it's also, and I think it's just part of me growing up. I'm okay with it changing for a younger generation to kind of have that same, well, not same, but a new experience in the park. Like because that's how you keep generations coming back. That's how you get kids to want to come back and experience Disney as itself. So it does suck, but at the same time, it's like, I'm okay with it because as the park grows up, or as we grow up, the park grows up, and things have to change. So, that's why I'm kind of excited about this new Epcot thing that they're doing over at Disney World. It's like a new revamped thing for the park, and I know a lot of people are upset about it. Keeping with the basis of the conversation, I think it's also important. Just try something new. People have loved this for decades, and people are going to talk about it. I mean, I'm not sure if you have seen the Defunctland stuff, Drake, but there's always going to be someone out there who kind of catalogs all these very beloved rides, beloved experiences. So there's always going to be a way to go back and view the stuff, though we can't experience it. There's always going to be that type of aspect to it. But I'm not sure how much time Drake has. So Drake, what's your availability like right now?
I got like 10 more minutes.
Okay. Well, I guess I can ask, because a lot of our viewers, are around our age, between 25 and 35. And we know that a lot of us first saw you on The Amanda Show. And so I kind of wanted to ask a little bit about like your experience back then, and like how you've grown as an actor from then? You know, I know it's a huge time gap in between, but I was always curious about, you know, how you felt as an actor growing from totally Kyle to you know, being a voice actor and being in multiple motion pictures and stuff like that.
The Amanda Show is obviously a blast. That's like my wheelhouse. That's where I love to be, is being silly and wacky and and crazy and zany, and that's the most fun on set, you know. You know, doing stuff like Drake and Josh was just that's where you're having fun, when it's just kooky, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so that's where I kind of, you know, I've never really been like, oh man, I need to win an Oscar, or I need to be this like dramatic actor or something, you know. I mean, I've done roles like that, but it's
not where you're
not nearly as fun, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I think, you know, creating art and doing everything that I do, it's like, first and foremost, like if I'm not enjoying myself and having a blast, like I'm not really like interested in it, you know. And so as far as like how I progress as an actor, I don't really ever, you know, I'm not like some serious thespian who's like, you know, I don't know. I'm not like Laurence Olivier. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe Troy Donahue or something, but yeah, so for me it's just more so of like what I get off on creatively and what excites me and turns me on, as far as like the creative side of something, instead of excuse me, instead of I don't know, like the full aspect. That's what I mean, like the whole
Like,
production.
like instead of like the glorified like individual part of it, you like the creative production
Yeah,
process.
yeah, I'm not worried about like my one performance in this single film. I'm more so of like, hey, let's get a bunch of really creative people together and create something, and you know, an actor is just a piece of that puzzle. And
yeah,
you know, if you're just the actor, then you're just a piece of the puzzle. It's a lot more fun like putting the puzzle together, you know, than sitting there and waiting, than being the puzzle piece sitting there and waiting, going, when are you going to put me in that place that I need to go, you know?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that, and I think that's kind of the reason why, you know, you know, during my time while I was out in LA, I've always had a problem with that, of like just being a piece of a puzzle.
Yeah.
Which is why now, you know, being back here, it's like, well, I wanted to create something where I'm involved with everything. You know, I want to bring the artists together to create something fun, exciting for people, whether that's storytelling for the stuff that we do, or if it's just doing a, you know, a basic interview with somebody that I know. You know, it's fun to kind of bring creative together to create something fun, and it doesn't need to be something that is hyper glorified or something that, you know, millions of people are watching. For us, really, as long as, you know, there are 30 people who are enjoying our content, that's a win for me, because I know that I'm at least making something that people enjoy, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, you were talking about it, Drake, that you know, try to get people together, and you know, I know we've talked about your acting, but you know, you are also a musician as well. And you know, I've always appreciated you as a musician, because I've always thought that your music has very interesting ways of creating music. So you know, I wanted to ask, you know, are you still creating music now, or is like is the music part for you kind of on the back burner?
No, I put out a record last year, and then the pandemic hit.
Gotcha.
And then it actually went to #1 in Mexico just like about a month ago.
Oh, dude, wow. Congratulations.
And then my Ready Steady Go record just went to #1 in Mexico last week.
Really? Wow.
And that record I recorded like 7 years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember when you just launched that, because I really liked your Bitchcraft single off.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did release a record. It just kind of got lost in like the pandemic, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be doing not a re-release, but like an NFT kind of bunch of artists like getting together. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with NFTs, but bunch of artists getting together and creating artwork inspired by the Lost album. And then we're going to sell those pieces as NFTs.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Sounds like you've been extremely busy.
Yeah.
Well,
I've been
hey, man,
I've been doing NFTs like crazy. It's like, guys, get on NFTs. It's super fun, super cool. Are you guys in crypto?
yeah. So I am trying to convince a couple other people in as well. Because I actually joined your what's it called, your clubhouse with
Tea room.
Yeah, the tea room, which is super fun.
It's fun, right?
Yeah. So for those who don't know, they have an NFT, and how often do you guys do releases for it?
Pretty much every day. We're gonna slow down a little bit now because we have a lot of product out there, but yeah, we're pretty much rocking every day.
Yeah, so they essentially have NFTs that launch on
OpenSea.
OpenSea, and it's essentially 8-bit teas that are based off of people, like 90s concepts.
Crypto puns.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
Ethereum instead of Ethereum, like because they're NFTs, and so we have to make NFT.
Yeah, exactly. And no, honestly, it's been super fun. So, for our audience, if you guys are on Clubhouse, you guys can follow me on there, and I can invite you guys to the NFT rooms that they have. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, come on. We have some fun stuff coming up. We're gonna be doing like a mock tea night show with John T. Carson.
That's so good.
Yeah, so it'll be we've got a lot of fun stuff, and then we also have some new stuff coming out that is lower price point to get you guys in. We got tea bags coming out, and then we're going to be creating like a way to get an entire tea set. So now the tea cups have been out. Nice. We're going to be introducing teaspoons and teapots, so that you could actually build your own
your whole tea set,
your own full tea set. Yeah.
That's
and then we have tea boxes that we're going to be doing with collaborations with other artists that'll design these specific tea boxes. So if you get 12 tea bags, then you can purchase a tea box to hold them and stuff, and there'll be all different designs, collaborations by different NFT artists in the space and stuff. So a lot of really cool stuff coming, so you definitely don't want to miss it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, man, that's awesome. Yeah. So, for those who have not followed Drake, where can people follow you to get updates either on NFTs, new projects?
Twitter and Instagram.
Okay.
Just Drake Bell on Twitter and Instagram. That's where I live. Most of the NFT stuff is on Twitter. You can follow NFTs on Instagram, NFTEAS. And you can see the new drops, what's available, what's been sold, etc. We do have I don't know if you've seen the newest one. I think you'll enjoy the newest one. You like Star Wars, right?
Yeah, come on. I love Star Wars.
Yeah, that's what I thought, right? Like, don't you have a Star Wars tattoo or no?
Oh yeah, I have the Arabish.
Okay.
Written on my arm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought you had a Star Wars tattoo. So yeah, so check out the new one. I think you'll dig it.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
It's our first animated. It's on Instagram. You should go on Instagram.
It's on Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, just go to NFTs, and it's our first animated tee.
Give me 1 second, because now I'm excited.
Yeah, you're gonna dig it. You saw R2T2 and Boba T Fett.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So it's an animated, for those who are listening to the audio, it is an animated C3TO.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Uh,
with him popping his head out of the cup. That is awesome.
And then the spillage on the side and everything. Hit the like and reshare, brah.
Oh, dude, I got you. No worries. I'm gonna do it right now.
Awesome.
But hey, man.
Yeah, so that's where they can find all the stuff. Basically Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the usuals. Yeah, I have some cool NFT drops coming, and that's pretty much what I'm working on right now. I'm writing music and stuff, recording here and there, but I actually wrote a cool new duet with a friend of mine. We're just waiting to drop that one.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
So yeah, so I don't know, man. It's just, I'm doing different stuff all the time. So
hey,
not
man,
really,
I totally understand that. Well, hey, you know what? Thank you for, spending the time just coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
The next time you're in Tucson, man, let me know. I would love to have you come into our studio and, maybe do a couple of things here and there.
Yeah, for sure.
Dungeons and Dragons or just sitting in on a project. That'd be really fun.
Dope. Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, but thank you again so much for coming and hanging out. Thank you guys for watching this episode of the podcast. Make sure to follow us on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Don't forget to go to bluhdhaven.com for more of our content, and we'll see you guys next week. See ya.
Later on, guys.